Magandang araw! Sa video presentation na ito, mag-solve tayo ng ilang problems sa compound interest under General Mathematics ng Senior High School. Dito, meron tayong tatlong problems kung saan ang una, meron tayong unknown principal amount at ang interest ay compounded continuously. Sa ikalawang problem, ang ating missing ay rate of interest at ito naman ay compounded semi-annually. Sa pangatlong problem, ang ating missing ay time in years at ang interest ay compounded quarterly. Huwag kalimutang i-like ang video at mag-subscribe. Ito ang Husay Sipnayan. Simulan natin sa problem number 1. Mikee invests a sum of money in a retirement account with a fixed annual interest rate of 2.63% compounded continuously. After 15 years, the balance reaches 95,620 pesos and 50 centavos. What was the amount of the initial investment? Dito sa ating problem, ang interest ay compounded continuously at ang missing ay ang initial investment o ang principal. Para sa ating suggested solution, gamitin natin ang formula kung saan ang interest ay compounded continuously. F is equal to P times E raised to RT. Kung saan ang F ay ang maturity value o ang final amount, ang P ay ang initial investment o ang principal amount, ang R ay ang rate of interest, at ang T naman ay time in years. Kung ang kailangan natin ay ang amount of initial investment o ang principal, i-derive natin ang formula para sa P. Gagawin natin, i-divide natin both sides of the equation by E raised to RT. Meron tayong F over E raised to the product RT is equal to P. At ito na ang ating formula. Principal is equal to maturity value divided by E raised to RT. Sa ating problem, ang final amount o ang maturity value ay 95,620.5. Ang rate of interest naman ay 2.63. Gagamitin natin ang decimal equivalent nito. Meron tayong 0.0263. At ang time ay equal sa 15. Substitute natin, meron tayong P is equal to 95,620.5 divided by E raised to the product 0.0263 times 15. Ang gagawin natin, gagamit tayo ng scientific calculator at i-input natin ang mga values. Una, meron tayong fraction. Press natin ang fraction at input natin ang 95,620.5 and then sa baba, sa denominator, input naman natin second function ln para makuha natin ang Euler's number raised to 0.0263 times 15. Press equal sign at ang ating sagot ay 64,449.84. Ibig sabihin, P is equal to 64,449 pesos. I-round off natin ito to 2 decimal places, 0.84. The amount of the initial investment is 64,449 pesos and 84 centavos. Punta tayo sa problem number 2. Freddie invests 306,950 pesos in a retirement account with a fixed annual interest rate compounded semi-annually. After 17 years, the balance reaches 431,248 pesos and 50 centavos. what is the rate of the account. Sa problem na ito, ang ating interest ay compounded semi-annually at ang missing ay ang interest rate of the account. Para sa ating suggested solution, gagamitin natin ang formula for compound interest where the interest is compounded more than once a year. F is equal to P times the quantity 1 plus R over N closed quantity raised to the product NT. Kung saan ang F ay ang final amount o ang maturity value, ang P ay principal amount or initial investment, ang R ay ang rate of interest, N is the number of conversion in a year or number of times the interest is compounded in a year, at ang T ay time in years. Para makuha natin ang formula para sa interest rate of the account, i-isolate natin ang R sa formula using derivation. Ang una nating gagawin, i-divide both sides by P or i-multiply natin both sides of the equation by 1 over P para makancel ito sa right-hand side. Magkakaroon tayo ng F over P is equal to quantity 1 plus R over N closed quantity raised to the product NT. Sunod naman, we will get rid of the exponent in the right-hand side, product NT, kaya i-raise natin both sides of the equation by 1 over NT. Magka-cancel ito sa right-hand side, magiging raised to 1 na lamang ang term sa right-hand side at magkakaroon tayo ng F over P raised to 1 over NT equals 1 plus R over N. This time, mag-subtract tayo ng 1 sa both sides. Magkakaroon tayo ng R over N is equal to quantity F over P raised to 1 over NT minus 1. This time, i-multiply natin both sides of the equation by N at maia-isolate na natin ang R sa right-hand side. Magka-cancel ito. Meron na tayong N times the quantity F over P raised to 1 over NT minus 1 closed quantity is equal to R. Sa ating problem, ang N ay equal sa 2 dahil ito ay compounded or ang interest ay compounded semi-annually. Ang F naman ay 431,248.5. Ang P ay equal sa 306,950. And then, ang T ay equal sa 17. I-substitute natin ang mga values sa na-derive nating formula para sa rate of interest. Meron tayong 2 times the quantity. F is 431,248.5 over P, 306,950, open and close parenthesis, raised to 1 over 2 times T, that is 17, and then minus 1, close quantity. Input natin ang lahat ng values sa ating scientific calculator. Meron tayong 2 times parenthesis, and then another 1, and then fraction, 431,248.5, and then sa denominator, 306,950, close parenthesis, exponent. Sa exponent, meron tayong fraction. 1 over 2 times 17 sa denominator. And then, minus 1. Close parenthesis, equal sign. And then, R is equal to 0.0201. At ilalagay natin ito sa kanyang percent form. Meron tayong R is equal to 2.01%. Therefore, the rate of the account or the interest rate of the account is 2.01%. Dito tayo sa problem number 3. Hera invests 429,450 in a retirement account with a fixed annual interest rate of 7% compounded quarterly. How long will it take for the account balance to reach 1,066,892 pesos and 50 centavos? Sa ating ikatlong problem, ang nawawala naman ay time in years. Ang ating question, how long will it take for the account balance to reach the final amount? Para sa ating suggested solution, gamitin natin muli ang formula for compound interest compounding more than once a year. F is equal to P times the quantity 1 plus R over N, closed quantity raised to NT. F ang final amount, P ang initial amount o ang principal, R ang rate of interest, N naman ay number of conversion or number of times the interest is compounded in a year. At ang T ay time in years. I-derive natin ang formula para mai-isolate natin ang T or ang time in years. Una natin gagawin, divide natin both sides by P para magkaroon tayo ng F over P is equal to quantity 1 plus R over N raised to N times T. This time, gagamitan natin ng logarithm ang ating equation para mai-isolate natin ang T sa exponent. Kunin natin ang logarithm of both sides of the equation. Meron tayong logarithm of F over P equals logarithm of quantity 1 plus R over N, closed quantity raised to NT. Gamit ang power rule ng logarithm, ang right-hand side ay magiging NT times the logarithm of quantity 1 plus R over N, closed quantity. And then this time, divide natin both sides of the equation by the product N times logarithm of quantity 1 plus R over N closed quantity para ma-isolate ang T sa right-hand side. At magkakaroon na tayo ng T is equal to logarithm of F over P over N times the logarithm of 1 plus R over N. Sa ating problem, ang F ay equal sa 1,066,892.5. Ang P ay equal sa 429,450. Ang N ay equal sa 4 dahil ang ating interest ay compounded quarterly. At ang rate ay equal sa 0.07. Ito ang decimal equivalent ng 7%. I-substitute natin ang mga values. Magkakaroon tayo ng T is equal to the logarithm of F, 1,066,892.5 over P, 429,450 over 4, that is N, times the logarithm of quantity 1 plus 0.07 over 4 closed quantity. Input natin ang mga values sa ating scientific calculator. Meron tayong fraction and then logarithm in the numerator. Another fraction, 1,066,892.5 and then sa denominator, 429,450. That is the principal. Close parenthesis. Punta tayo sa denominator. We have 4 times the logarithm of parenthesis 1 plus 0.07, the rate, over 4. That's quarterly. Close parenthesis equals. Then T is equal to 13.11. At dahil ang ating interest ay compounded quarterly, T is approximately 13 1/4 years. Therefore, it will take 13 1/4 years dahil ang ating interest ay compounded quarterly for the account to reach 1,066,892 pesos and 50 centavos. Maraming salamat sa panonood. Huwag kalimutang i-like ang video at mag-subscribe. Ito ang Husay Sipnayan.